So then, for the 11th standard portions, one of the chapters that we have is vibrations and oscillatory motion. And to begin with, the term that we will have to know well, come across, is the periodic motion. Well, one thing that you will have to understand is that for any kind of vibratory or the oscillatory motion, there is a fixed point. So the entire chapter is depending upon that fixed point. And for the topic that we have to look into, that is the simple harmonic motion, the fixed point is known as the main position. So there are different paths that we are having where the particle has to pass via the fixed point or the main position. It can have any shape, elliptical shape, circular shape, and whatsoever. So, what we say with regards to the definition of the periodic motion is that again and again, when a particle passes through the fixed point at a regular interval of time. So, first time the path takes 5 seconds to pass through this point. But for the second time, same path only takes another 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. So at regular intervals of time, when a path is crossing that fixed point, then we say that the body is said to have a periodic motion. Periodic motion. Repeatedly passing through that part, through that fixed point. And the time taken to pass through that fixed point again and again is the same. So at regular intervals of time. Then that motion which we are having is what is called the periodic motion. Then after that, in continuation with the motions, what we have is the vibratory or the oscillatory motion. So it's something which anybody can understand. Even a common man will be able to guess what is this oscillatory motion. So when a motion is such that it is, well, having its movement to and fro between 2 points, then that motion is said to be a periodic motion. But, I'm sorry, not periodic, it is oscillatory motion. But the difference between periodic and oscillatory motion is that for the oscillatory motion, the motion on either side of this fixed point, called the mean position, should be along the same path. It's not that first one path, then second path will start. No, not like that. It is through the same fixed path. So, same path, like this. The best example for that. Why myself? You yourself will be able to say, best example for that is the pendulum of a clock. Attack. Yes, man, that is an oscillatory motion. So, that is the oscillatory motion that I am explaining now. So, the motion should be such that it should be following the same path. So, once it crosses the mean position, reaches the other end, then returns back, again crosses the mean position. So, through the mean position, when we have got a to and from motion, not that it should necessarily make an arc. Even if it is a straight line. In the case of spring, what happens? Pull the spring, leave it, then it will have a to and from motion, that will be a straight line. That is also an oscillatory motion. Okay. So, oscillatory or vibratory motion is that motion where the path followed by the system is the same to and fro. But it will have a to and from. It is not a continuous one again and again. If it is a continuous one, then how will it pass through that same fixed point? Not at all possible. So the only chance is that it has got to move a to and fro motion. To and fro motion. And one such motion, a special case of oscillatory motion, is the simple harmonic motion. The simple harmonic motion is defined as that which is obtained by the projection of a uniform circular motion on the diameter of a circle. So, uniform circular motion. What do you mean by the word uniform here? Uniform circular motion means along the circle, the speed is a constant. That is why it can have a uniform motion. But when it is describing a circle, that is making an angle, then the motion is an angular motion. Angular motion, like that there are so many different types of angular motion. Ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, all of them are having an angular motion. And for that the speed that you take should be the angular speed. This is uniform. The symbol for the angular speed is omega. So when a particle is describing a circle like this, see a particle first here, here, and then it continues, and after some time it completes the circle. Now you have to project all these different points on the diameter. Well, projection means what? Well, you have to understand it first. You see, the thing is that you need not work out with too many problems. But to get good score, you will have to be strong at the fundamentals. See, what many of the students are doing is after the chapter is finished, there are a lot of problems given at the end of the book in the form of exercises. They try one after another. Some they not able to work and some they are able to work. They think that by practicing like this, they are well prepared for the examination. No. You need not work out problems like this. Not too many problems, but be very strong at the fundamentals. So whenever you come across a new word, first open a dictionary. Keep your dictionary always by the side whenever you are making a study. Open the dictionary and that different word which you have not at all come across till such time. See what is the meaning of that word. So like that, see what is projection. For those who are having vested interest in engineering, ask them, they will tell you what is projection. See, if you have got a plane surface and above that you have got a particle. I am not talking of a point. I am not talking of an imaginary point. There is really a particle. Particle is the smallest division of a body that can exist independently in nature. See, atom is the smallest division of an element and compound is the smallest division of a molecule. Particle is the smallest division of a body. That's all. So now if you see from the top, then from very far away, very, very far away, if you see this particle from the top, then it will appear to be kept on this surface. You try, man, then you will see. What you do is you go far away from the wall. As you go far away from the wall, then you see some point which is in between. Very far away. From there, if you see it, it will appear as if the point is on the wall, man. Try and see it. You will have no doubts at all, or you will have all the doubts cleared. So this particle will appear to be on the surface when you see it from a far off height. Then that particle which appears to be on the plane is what is called the projection of this particle. So I say that this particle, original particle is A, and what you see on the plane is A dash, then A dash is the projection of A. So now that you have got an idea as to what is projection, then again come back to the definition of the simple harmonic motion. A simple harmonic motion is obtained by projection, by projecting a uniform circular motion. So for uniform circular motion, to complete a circle, either one single particle will be keeping on moving, otherwise there will be so many number of particles that we have all rotating. Projection of one of the particle, where? Projected on this plane. Like that, project this particle on this diameter. So let us take one such particle and project it on the diameter, say diameter D1, D2. And let the center of this circular motion be O. And let us take the projection of point P on the diameter as Q. Like that, project all the points, or the same point when it is taking up different positions along the circle, project all of them, and that projection should be on the diameter. Then what happens is that for different projections of the different particles, imagine that you are moving along those projections. So it is like this, one particle, two particle, and so on, for all that the projection. So for the different particles, you can see the projection, see its motion. So the projection of these different particles on the diameter, and if we see it in a continuous manner for the circular motion, then the projection appears as if it is moving along a straight line. This straight line motion, which is the projection of the particle describing circle, is what is called a simple harmonic motion. So simple. So then, a simple harmonic motion is obtained by the projection of the uniform circular motion on the diameter of the circle. So this is the projection, and the projection will appear continuously as you take up the different points on the circle, and this continuation motion, you can see now it automatically, not that we are creating it, it automatically is a to and fro motion. This is what is called the oscillatory motion. It is also known as vibrating motion. Why? Because you can see it is vibrating to and fro about a particular point. So it is called a vibrating motion. So oscillator and vibrating, therefore both are same. And as a special case, one type of vibratory motion is what is called the simple harmonic motion, which is shown here. This is simple harmonic motion. Yes. So project every point. And for continuous rotation or the continuous motion of a circle, you will find that there is a to and fro motion for the projection that is there along the diameter. That to and fro motion every time will pass through a fixed point, and that fixed point here is the center of the circle. It is also known as the mean position of the circle. Now take care. From the beginning I have told you to and fro motion. So the center of the circle is the mean position for the simple harmonic motion. Yes. So then let us proceed now with the different definition that we have for the simple harmonic motion. So the point P is projected, and on the diameter we see that the projection is Q. And we know that O to P is the radius. And let us say that this radius is equal to A. And from here, if you take the circular motion, you can see that some angle will be covered, and let us take that angle as theta. Already we have seen that for the uniform motion, there will be speed because angle is covered, so that speed will be called the angular speed given by the symbol omega. Okay. And then afterwards, there are certain rules here, like what we have already seen for the motion in 1D. See, from wherever the body starts, the measurement of the displacement also starts from the same point. So that is the rule. Take the measurement from the point where the body starts. So like that here there is a rule, another rule is a separate rule. So then here the rule is that the displacement will always start from the mean position. Yes. See now how the body moves along the circle. Let us say that the motion starts from D2. From D2 it has come to P. So many people will say for the projection on the diameter, the distance is D2Q. Now, for simple harmonic motion, the rule is altogether different. From D2 to P, project. The motion is D2 to Q, but the distance is measured from the main position up to this point. So OQ is the displacement. Direction also should be from the mean position to the final position. So note that. So we have got the direction from the mean position to the final position, and it is just the other way around of the projections we have for the circular motion from T to P. So always for whatever point is there on the circle, and for that whatever be the point you get as a projection on the diameter, up to that point take the measurement from the mean position. Let us take that distance as equal to x. Then see that cos theta is equal to the base by the opposite side, x by a. So from that you will get, therefore x is equal to a cos theta. Now what is theta mean? Theta is the angle covered. So you can say it is an angular distance. Distance it is. And another thing that you know is distance is equal to velocity into time if velocity is a constant. All that we have studied it in plenty before. So those guys who are not students of Concord, for them I am just putting some videos in the YouTube. So you are not able to view all of them. But those of the regular students, they have viewed everything. So they will be having a good idea that for uniform motion, the distance covered equal to velocity into time. Okay, because it's a very small clarification, so I'll put it forth again. Say, we know the general equation for the motion of a body is S is equal to ut plus half a t square. And we know that velocity is constant, means the acceleration should be equal to 0. Why? According to the definition for acceleration, it is defined as the rate of change in velocity by time. So at the beginning, if the velocity is u, at the end, if the velocity is v, then the change in velocity will be v minus u. Rate means you have to find the change in velocity by taking the time. Rate means always take time equal to 1. So if this is the change in velocity for time t, then when time is 1, then divide by t you should get. So this is change in velocity when time is 1. So this is the rate of change in velocity, and as per the definition, this is equal to the acceleration. Now, what you can notice here is that when velocity is constant, then both are same. One is negative, cancels. So then you will get acceleration is 0. So that is what I was telling you.